Hi, my name is Jack, and this is the story of my calendar year Triple Crown hike, a 9.5-month journey along the Appalachian, Pacific Crest, and Continental Divide trails. It takes most hikers 4 to 6 months to complete just one of these trails, but I must complete all 3 before December 31st. To put the challenge into perspective, more people have been to the moon than have completed a calendar year Triple Crown. Back in the fog and the clouds. Really riveting footage of us eating lunch. Sun finally came out. It's pretty decent, little ridgeline views. That is the James River down there. Cross it in about 5 miles. This stretch of trail is where hikers will experience what's known as the Virginia Blues. By this point, you've walked over 800 miles, so things aren't nearly as new and exciting as they used to be, but you still have over 1,400 miles to go, and at times it can feel like you're never going to make it. It also doesn't help that Virginia is the longest state on the AT, and the terrain pretty much stays the same, so it can feel like Groundhog Day, where you're just doing the same thing over and over again without a change of scenery. Let's see what hiker hunger looks like. Here it is. This is Mars's Pizza. French fries, hot dogs. Actually looks pretty good. Even cutting together this video, I can feel how much of a slog this section was. Later in the season, these mountains will explode with green, vibrant life, but for us, it was just an endless expanse of dead brown leaves and bare gray branches. This is Brown Creek Shelter. Small one. You got your fire pit here. River down there, pretty nice place. Take that old cheese bread and make a pepperoni sandwich.
So, goal number 1 is to reduce the volume of the food. Goal number 2 is to reduce the weight of the food. And number 3 is, of course, to eat enough. This is like more plastic than cheese. But
5 miles and 2,600 feet up. I think today total is going to be close to 8,000 feet again. This is Saturday, March 19th, day 32. Woke up with the sunrise, although as you can see, there's not much of a sunrise right now. Pretty foggy. At least it's not raining. Been listening to this horror anthology podcast called Old Gods of the Appalachia, and that's pretty interesting. All these alternate reality stories of beings and entities and things living in the Appalachian Mountains when it's dark and foggy like this. I really think about what could be out here, and it makes things a little bit more interesting. Each time I encounter a heavy fog, I can't help but wonder if I'll walk out into the same world as I entered, or if I will walk out into a different time, a different timeline, or a different dimension. Over the course of the next 10 miles, we'll descend over 3,000 feet and then climb over 3,000 feet. This will be over the 3 ridges famous or infamous little spot where you just climb and climb some more. You've probably noticed that I constantly talk about the number of feet of elevation gained and lost. That's because elevation gain and loss, or vert, is a much better measure of how difficult a day is rather than the number of miles hiked. On a steep section or trail where there's 7,000 to 8,000 feet of gain in a day, I'll probably only average about 2 miles an hour for most of that day, whereas somewhere that's flatter like New Mexico on the Continental Divide Trail or Oregon on the Pacific Crest Trail, I will average closer to 3 to 3.5 miles an hour, so out there I can do 30 miles in the time it takes me to do 20 on the AT. Gorgeous sunset right now. All of this is worth it for moments like this. Even though I still have like 1,500 more feet to climb. Worth it. It's impossible to convey the feelings and emotions that you experience on trail, but I think this is why I am so interested in filming my experience. Video is the closest you can get to seeing the ups and downs, the hardships, the beauty, and it doesn't even come close in the end. Last episode we started in Pearisburg, Virginia and headed north. We passed through McAfee's Knob and spent a night in Glasgow, Virginia. Now we're headed through the George Washington National Forest towards Rockfish Gap and the town of Waynesboro. To Waynesboro now. Probably seems like I'm in towns all the time, which I am, but also at this extreme pace on the Appalachian Trail, really kind of need the rest and the nutrients. The amount of effort to do some of these days, like the last 2 days, climbed over 8,000 feet each day. It's just quite immense. So really need these town stops for the food and the better rest. This is Ming's Buffet. Focusing on protein for the first plate. Plate number 2. Dozen eggs. And the hamburger helper. Dinner tonight too. Just for now. If I see you down the trail.
Yeah, Marcus Femi.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, you too.
It's Monday, March 21st. Been in a lot of towns, but that doesn't mean you get to just go into town and relax, especially going at 6 or 7 or 8 p.m. You still gotta eat dinner. You know, calories is probably the most important thing. And then there's laundry, you gotta charge all your electronics. There's all the stuff I'm doing with video and photos and posting up to different social medias, which that part I don't really need to do, but I like doing it, and it's just extra stuff on top of everything else. So towns are pretty packed with things to do, and on a normal hike, you know, you'll take a day off every once in a while and catch up on all that stuff. But this hike is just kind of go, and I actually get less sleep in towns than I do on the trail because I'm up till 11, midnight, 1, a lot of times, just finishing up all my work. Pound of almonds, pound of candy. Less than a pound of granola. 6 of these breakfast essential things. Oh, I forgot about these. Got 2 sticks of butter, a pound of pepper jack cheese, pepperoni, 5 ounces, tuna for some protein. There should be 12 of those bars, some Cheetos. Probably also wondering, what am I gonna do with 2 sticks of butter? So here's the answer. I'm gonna take a bite. Eat some candy. Careful eating pure fat like this. If you eat too much, you will have diarrhea. Ask me how I know. Feeling pretty good today. I'm gonna push pretty late into the night. I was thinking that I would do the Shenandoahs in about 4 days, but I think if I push hard today, hard tomorrow, and then fairly hard Wednesday, I should be able to get out over to Front Royal and out of the Shenandoahs in 3 days. The AT parallels the scenic Blue Ridge Parkway through most of Shenandoah National Park. The trail crosses over the road 32 times in this stretch. Today has been challenging. I think probably just because I only got 5 hours of sleep last night. But now that the sun is going down, I usually get a burst of energy in the evening too. And the terrain will be easier, so I'm just gonna keep walking. I think if by midnight I'm not where I'm at or where I'm trying to go, I'll probably just camp because I don't need to do 2 nights on low sleep. It's 12:10 a.m. Still have, I don't know, at least an hour to walk. Pretty tired, but just gonna keep going. So I got here at about 1:30 last night. This is a bathroom. It's not open yet, so if it were open I probably would have slept inside of it. But this thing blocked the wind, and I just cowboy camped right out here behind the bathroom. You did?
I started December 5th on Katahdin, so I'm going southbound from Katahdin all the way to Springer, so I hiked through the winter.
Yeah, through the winter. That sounds terrible to me.
Yeah. And he's doing Triple Crown calendar year.
Calendar year Triple Crown. Day 35, 36, something like that.
We're a mile like 980 or something like that. It's crazy, man.
So that's cool that we met
so good to run into him. Oh my gosh. Woo.
Good luck.
Thank you, dude.
Scott would continue and finish his southbound through hike at the beginning of May, becoming one of only a handful of people to ever hike the Appalachian Trail in the dead of winter. That's still something that I would rather not do. I would rather do 7,400 miles than hike the trail in the winter, because it's been a hard couple of days. 34 miles out of Waynesboro, hiked till like 1:30. Then yesterday, 40.8 miles. Almost 9,000 feet of gain. Once again, time for the ritual of putting away my camera because it is starting to rain. There was a cold rain for the rest of the day, and I started experiencing a sharp pain in my knee. This was my first injury along the trip, and it slowed me down enough that I couldn't make it into town that night. Pretty rough day. It rained all day long. And then I started having some knee pain, which made it so I camped 3 miles before Front Royal, trying to get to a hostel, but I didn't. So this is where I'm staying for tonight, eating my random little bit of food I have left, and not pizzas like I wanted. Spending an extra night out cold and wet when you were expecting the comforts of town is the worst. And on that note, I will end this episode. If you're enjoying these videos, please hit like, leave a comment, and share. Thank you so much.